Hey, what's up, guys? It's DJ the Sports Blurred here. Did y'all miss me? I see the SEC fanboys are still in my ass in the comment sections. I appreciate, you guys always trying to get me together. I think I have a pretty decent video today for you guys. I'm going to get into why I think Oklahoma is going to be in some trouble next year. But before I do that, I want to thank all you guys for your support so far. Anyone who's ever liked the video that I've put out, anyone who's ever commented, subscribed, I really appreciate that, truly. I've always just liked talking about college sports, and, you guys make this even better than what it is. Even if no one watched this video, I really wouldn't care. I just really like talking about college sports. So going forward, if you like my videos, or even if you tune in just to agree, like some of you do, please consider subscribing, and even liking this video. So let's get into it. I'm sure by now all of you have heard that JT Daniels is entering the transfer portal, and I'm certain none of you guys are surprised. I know I'm not. For him, on one hand, I really do feel bad for JT. Anytime you lose your spot due to injury, it's always a tough pill to swallow. I mean, you're literally giving your body, not just for the sport, but you're giving your body up for the team. And so to have them move on to something that's potentially better, it piss anybody off. So I understand why JT was really upset about that. I mean, he was told that even when he came back, he'd have his job. So he transferred from USC, came to Georgia just for the same thing to happen at USC. But then you have to think about it. On the other hand, you got to realize that life isn't always fair. Granted, JT was playing well at the time, and Georgia was undefeated. Kirby Smart decided he was going to take a chance on, don't forget I call this guy the little engine that could. He was going to take a chance on Stetson, the little engine that could, Bennett. And it paid off. It paid off big time. I mean, they ended up winning a national championship. And, I think Kirby did that because he saw how much better his team was playing, with Stetson Bennett at quarterback over JT Daniels. Crazy thing, I still think JT Daniels is a better quarterback. But I just think I just think Stetson Bennett was an overall, better fit. But you got to remember, this is big time college football, and you have to do what you got to do as a coach to succeed. It's all about winning the next game, and it's all about getting to the next biggest game. And they did. I mean, they won a national championship. It's hard to argue with what Kirby Smart did. You can always go back and say hindsight is 2020. Obviously, if they would have lost to Alabama again in the national championship game, then you start saying, okay, maybe Kirby was wrong about this. But Stetson Bennett, he played very well in that national championship game, and you have to give it to him. So I know what you're probably wondering, DJ, this is a video about Oklahoma. Why are we talking about JT Daniels in Georgia? Well, this leads me into why I think the Sooners are going to take a dip next year. Don't forget, Brent Venables, who is the new OU coach, probably realizes already that his best player from last year, Caleb Williams, is as good as gone. Caleb has all but told the Sooners he's going. And for Caleb Williams, I probably put the USC Trojans as his destination that he's going to be landing at. I mean, he already knows the coach, Lincoln Riley. He already knows the system. They can pretty much put him together a really good NIL deal. And Lincoln Riley's also taken a couple players from the OU team from last year and has added them to the USC team of this year. So, he'd have some pieces that would be very familiar. But I digress. We're not talking about him right now. I guess what I'm trying to say is Caleb Williams leaving is going to open up a spot at quarterback. And if I had to bet, I'm not a betting man, but if I had to bet, where JT Daniels would go, there's three places that I think he can end up: LSU, Ole Miss, or Oklahoma. And I think these three places would definitely make the best logic for, JT Daniels. So I know what you're thinking, by adding JT Daniels, this is going to make Oklahoma worse. Not exactly. It's more so losing Caleb Williams. I mean, if you think about what they did this year at Oklahoma, think about it. They had tough games with Tulsa. They won like 35-40. They barely beat Nebraska. It was like 16-23. Now, in those two games, Spencer Rattler was their starting quarterback. the very next week versus Kansas, they barely won that game. I mean, I think they won the game 37-31, and I didn't mean to say the very next week. It was a couple weeks down the road. I think the very next week they had Texas, which again they barely won. This is actually the game that put Caleb Williams on the map. They were down 7-21 at one point. Probably should have lost that game, but anyways, they barely beat Kansas 37-31. Barely beat Iowa State 21-28. They played West Virginia tough. That was a 13-16 ball game. And Baylor and Oklahoma State both beat them this year. So I can make an argument that half of the close games, especially that game versus Kansas, should have been losses. And if it weren't for the heroics of Caleb Williams, I could see them easily with a 9-4 record, an 8-5 record instead of an 11-2 record that they finished with, But let's continue with some more reasons. What if I told you that North Carolina, the Tar Heels, not the basketball Tar Heels, either the college football Tar Heels, has twice the 5-star recruits coming in for 2022 than Oklahoma? Would you believe me? So get this, UNC has two, not one, but two 5-star recruits coming in, while the Oklahoma Sooners have 0. They sit at number 10 in the overall recruiting class behind Texas, which is their biggest rival, Penn State, Michigan, and UNC. This is not how you want to be going into the SEC. I mean, if they keep continuing the way they're going to be going on, if they continue to go down this path, I can see them as a bottom to mid-tier SEC school. So, not having the 10th best class isn't bad for most schools, but we're talking about OU. This is the Sooners that we're talking about. They had 3 of the last 4 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks. Also, let's take a look at some of the players that are going to be leaving too. So their big tight end, Austin Stogner, who caught 3 touchdowns last year, he's going to be joining Spencer Rattler in South Carolina. Jadon Hazelwood, who caught 6 touchdowns, he's going to be going to Arkansas. They had a freshman stud wide receiver, Mario Williams. He's going to be really good. He packed up and went to USC, and also took another freshman who's a 4-star DB. His name was Latrell McCutcheon. He's going to USC. I can keep going and on and on and on about some of the players that they lost. But they've lost, actually, in their recruiting class coming in, they've lost 6 out of 16 recruits that were supposed to be coming in for 2022. Kennedy Brooks, who was one of the best running backs in the country last year, he declared for the NFL draft. Their number 1 tight end, Jeremiah Hall, he also declared for the draft. They lost 2 of their best linemen to the NFL draft, which is going to be Marquise Hayes and Tyrese Robinson. And also, don't forget, they're going to be replacing 6 starters on that defense. Now, I know what you're saying. That defense wasn't really that good. But in terms of overall continuity, to just keep plugging in new pieces every place. I can't talk today. New pieces every place. That's still going to be very tough. Now, I'm not saying OU shells are completely bare. They have a couple pieces coming back. And don't forget that Brett Venables is a defensive-minded coach. But think about this. The Sooners were ranked number 76 in overall defense last year. Now, as a point of reference, you guys know I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan. Ohio State had a terrible, let me unbutton this. Whew. My neck is going to pop off. I'm wearing my work clothes here. I just got off work, but I really wanted to make this video. OSU, Ohio State, was a terrible defensive team. They were ranked number 53 in overall defense. So that just gives you a point of reference of how bad this defense was last year. And you pair that with an offense that is losing so many pieces, it's not getting better, and that's a recipe for disaster. But, what do I know at the end of the day? That's just my thoughts on where I think Oklahoma's going to be next year. You got to remember, offense is still king in the Big 12, and they're losing one of their best players, if not the best player in college football right now, in Caleb Williams. But let me know what you think. Tell me your thoughts about why I'm right or why I'm wrong down in the comment section below. Again, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Man, I really enjoy talking with you guys back and forth in the comment section. You guys really do know a lot about college football, and I really can't wait till the season starts back up. But let me know what you guys think. For my next group of videos, I'm going to be doing 4. And I'm going to be doing who I think are going to be the 4 teams that are going to be in the playoffs next year. I think this is going to be a video that you're really going to like. All right, guys, it's time for me to get up out of here. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.